Hi, I'm Jason Leitch, the National Clinical Director of the Scottish Government, and I just wanted to lend my support to an initiative from the Hamilton Presbytery, one of a number of initiatives around the country just now that will, on the anniversary of the lockdown, the first lockdown on the 23rd of March and the surrounding days, take some time to reflect on those who we've lost during the pandemic and the families who have had to endure that loss. I hope you can join and feel part of that reflective period, wherever you are, whether it's affected you as an individual, your family, your faith group, or whatever. So I will be doing my part in those days and weeks, and I hope you can too.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Kay, and I'm the Musical Director for the NHS Lanarkshire Staff Choir. I'm honoured to have the opportunity to highlight the Light for Life's initiative being organised by the Hamilton Presbytery of the Church of Scotland. I'm delighted that the NHS Lanarkshire Staff Choir can participate in the event. As a choir, we've managed to stay together by continuing to sing throughout the various levels of lockdown. The 23rd of March 2021 will mark 1 year since the UK entered the first lockdown. I would ask that you support this initiative by lighting a candle to remember all those lost lives. Many thanks, and please remember to stay safe and follow the government guidelines.
Hi, I'm the Reverend Robbie Hamilton, minister here at the New Wellwine Church. And I want to encourage you to support Light for Lives on the 23rd of March. That's the first anniversary of the first lockdown. We've had to learn to reinvent ourselves. And that has been challenging in so many different ways. My thoughts and prayers have been with so many people, from those key workers on the front line, through to those who have had to self-isolate and stay at home. My thoughts and prayers have been with those who have been bereaved this past year, who have known the effects of COVID-19 and known what it's been like to try and mourn the death of a loved one when we are distancing ourselves from each other, when we're limited as to how many folk can come to a funeral service. And this has been so challenging to them. So it's important that we take time to remember those who have died this past year, but also to remember in our thoughts, in our prayers, and in our love, those who are struggling to pick up the pieces, so that they know so many people stand beside them. So please join me, join others, to take time at 7 o'clock on the 23rd of March to light a light for the lives of those who have died, but also the lives of those whose lives have been changed.
Hello, I'm Eddie Docherty, and I'm the Executive Director for Nursing, Midwifery and Allied Health Professions within NHS Lanarkshire. The evening of the 23rd of March marks 1 year since we entered the first lockdown, and there's been a staggering number of deaths due to COVID-related causes and thousands more from other causes. Unfortunately, a significant number of people have not been able to grieve properly and to pay their last respects due to the restricted circumstances associated with the lockdown. I would ask you support this initiative by lighting a candle to remember all those lives have been lost. I will be lighting my candle for a dear friend, Mr. Colin McFadden, and many thanks, and please remember to stay safe and follow the government guidelines. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gillian Mulholland and I'm an NHS Lanarkshire choir member. but I'm also a member of staff working as a doctor here within the board. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to highlight the Light for Life's initiative being organised by the Hamilton Presbytery of the Church of Scotland. I'm also delighted the NHS Lanarkshire Staff Choir can participate in the event. The 23rd of March 2021 will mark 1 year since the UK entered the first lockdown, and I would ask you that you support this initiative by lighting a candle to remember all of those who have lost their lives. Many thanks, and please remember to stay safe and follow the government guidelines.
The last 12 months have been like a period that we could never have imagined that we would be living through, that we have lost so many people on these islands as a consequence of COVID-19. And on March the 23rd at 7 p.m, I'm asking everyone to light a candle in remembrance of all those that have sadly lost their lives. And we think of all the family members, the friends of those that have not been able to grieve in the way that we normally would, not being able to hold funerals the way that we would. It really has been a terribly testing time, and our thoughts are with everyone that's been caught up in this, that's lost a loved one. And of course we think about those in our frontline services and NHS, our care workers, everyone that's really put in a tremendous shift to try and get us all through this, and the general public that have done what's been asked of them in terms of trying to keep people safe. We know there is light at the end of the tunnel. We know that the vaccine programme has and is going well, and we know that we will be able to open up in a material sense over the course of the coming weeks and months. But as we do that, let's always remember those that have sadly lost their lives as a consequence of this. Let's light a candle for all of them. Let's keep them in our memories. Let's hope that as a society that we can accept our responsibilities to look after people, to show compassion and humanity, and come out of this with some good in our responsibilities to our fellow human being. But tonight, 23rd of March, make sure that you light a candle for all those that have gone. Thank you.
On the 23rd of March, we'll remember the people that we've lost in these times. I lost my dad to COVID quite early on in the first lockdown, and I think it's important for us to remember them, but to be positive as well about what they did for us and the legacy that they leave behind. We made a children's book when my dad passed away to help children manage or navigate their way through their grief. And that's something that's helped us as a family, but it's also something that I feel that my dad would have been proud of.
I'm lighting a candle for both my dad and my Aunt Millie, who both died during lockdown. They're both very important and special people to me, and I feel they didn't get the farewell that they deserved.
Hello, my name is Kate MacDonald, and I'm an NHS Lanarkshire choir member, but I'm also a member of staff working for the stroke service within the Health Board. I'm delighted to have this opportunity to highlight the Light for Life's initiative being organised by the Hamilton Presbytery of the Church of Scotland. We are very honoured that NHS Lanarkshire Staff Choir is able to participate in this very important event. The 23rd of March 2021 will mark 1 year since the United Kingdom entered the first lockdown. I would ask that you support this initiative by lighting a candle on this day and remember and acknowledge all those who have lost their life during this pandemic. Many thanks for taking the time to do this, and please remember to stay safe and to continue to follow the government guidelines. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Maureen Lees. I chair the Area Clinical Forum within NHS Lanarkshire, and on behalf of the forum I am delighted to highlight the Light for Life initiative being organised by the Hamilton Presbytery of the Church of Scotland. 23rd of March this year will mark the first anniversary of us going into lockdown. We would ask you support the initiative by lighting a candle for those lives that have been lost. Many thanks, and please stay safe.
Hello, I'm Heather Knox and I'm the Chief Executive here in NHS Lanarkshire. I'm delighted that NHS Lanarkshire is supporting the Light for Lives initiative. This is an initiative that has been organised by Hamilton's Presbytery of the Church of Scotland. I'm also really pleased that our choir has been asked to participate in this initiative as well. 23rd of March 2021 will mark a year since the start of the pandemic and since the UK entered into the first lockdown. By the time of the anniversary, well over 100,000 people will have died of COVID or COVID-related illnesses, and thousands more will have died from further causes. At this time, we remember Kirsty Jones, a member of our own staff who died from COVID. What is really sad is the majority of funerals over the past year have taken place in severely restricted circumstances, and many of those people who would have wanted to attend in person haven't been able to. I'm planning to light a candle to remember all those who've lost their lives. I also hope that doing so will provide some comfort to those grieving the loss of their loved ones. I would ask that you support this initiative by lighting a candle to remember all those who have lost lives. Many thanks. Please remember to stay safe and follow facts. Thank you.